Hello everyone, I am Magesh, Assistant Professor of English. Today we are about to see William Shakespeare's play Romeo and Juliet. William Shakespeare, the greatest writer in the English language and the world's preeminent dramatist, was born on April 1564. He is often called England's national poet and the Bard of Avon. His extensive work, including collaboration, consists of some 39 plays, 154 sonnets, and 3 long narrative poems, and few other verses, some of uncertain authorship. His plays have been translated into every major living language and are performed more often than those of any other playwright. And Shakespeare remains arguably the most influential writer in the English language, and his works continue to be studied and reinterpreted. The play Romeo and Juliet, it is published in 1597, and it is about the romance between two Italian youths from two feuding families. And the setting of this play is Italy, and the original title is The Most Excellent and the Lamentable Tragedy of Romeo and Juliet. So these are the characters of the Romeo and Juliet, and these are the two families, Montague family and the another one is Capulet family. So when the act 1 begins, it begins with the chorus introduces the two feuding families of Verona, the Capulets and the Montagues. On a hot summer's day, the young men of two families fight until the Prince of Verona intervenes and threatens to banish them. Soon after, the head of the Capulet family plans for a feast. Their goal is to introduce his daughter Juliet to a count named Paris, who seeks to marry Juliet. Meanwhile, Montague's son Romeo and their friends Benvolio and Mercutio, they hear about the party and they want to go to the party in disguise. Romeo hopes to see his beloved Rosaline at the party, but in that party he meets Juliet and he falls instantly in love with her. And Juliet's cousin Tybalt recognizes the Montague boys and forces them to leave just as Romeo and Juliet discover one another. Romeo lingers near the Capulet house to talk with Juliet when she appears in her window. The pair declare their love for one another and they intend to marry the next day. With the help of Juliet's nurse, the lovers arrange to marry when Juliet goes for a confession at the cell of Friar Lawrence. Then they are secretly married with the help of Friar Lawrence. In the Act 3, following the secret marriage of Romeo and Juliet, Juliet's cousin Tybalt, he sends a challenge to Romeo. Romeo refuses to fight, and which angers his friend Mercutio, who then fight with Tybalt. And also Mercutio, he is accidentally killed as Romeo intervenes to stop the fight. In anger, Romeo pursues Tybalt and kills him, but later he is banished by the Prince of Verona. And Juliet is anxious because Romeo is late to meet her and learns of the bout, Tybalt's death and also Romeo's banishment. But Friar Lawrence arranges for Romeo to spend the night with Juliet before he leaves for Mantua. Meanwhile, the Capulet family grieves for Tybalt, so Lord Capulet moves Juliet's marriage to the Paris the next day. And Juliet's parents are angry when Juliet doesn't want to marry Paris, but they don't know about their secret marriage to Romeo. And in the Act 4, Friar Lawrence helps Juliet by providing a sleeping draught that will make her seem dead. When the wedding party arrives to greet Juliet the next day, they believe she is dead. But at the same time, the friar sends a messenger, Friar John, to warn of Romeo about the Juliet's plan and bids him to come to the Capulet family monument to rescue his sleeping wife. But the important message to Romeo doesn't arrive in time, because at that time the plague is spreading in that town. And hearing from his servant that Julius is dead, Romeo he buys a poison in Mantua and he returns to Verona. While he returns, he goes to the tomb and where he surprises and kills the mourning Paris. Romeo he takes his poison and dies, while Juliet awakens from her drunkard coma. She learns what has happened from her friar Lawrence, but she refuses to leave the tomb and she stabs herself. The friar returns with the prince, Capulets, and Romeo's lately widowed father. The death of their children leads the family to make peace, and they promise to erect a monument in Romeo and Juliet's memory. Thank you.